Another massive Nintendo Switch eShop sale is live right now with nearly 2,700 games on sale, and today I have 14 games for you all covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now if you do enjoy this video, consider subscribing. We are pushing for 60,000 subscribers right now on SwitchCorner, so each and every one of you makes a huge difference. We also then have 2 winners to announce for 2 $10 eShop gift cards later in the video and 2 more to give away to enter. Drop a comment down below and those winners they'll be announced in next Saturday's video. Bright Memory Infinite Gold Edition to start the week, it's 20% off and matching the low price on this. It's a first-person shooter and arguably one of the best looking games on the system, but the compromise is, it is incredibly short, clocking in at just a couple of hours. You could maybe argue it feels like a tech demo, but I still had a lot of fun with it. The action is fast-paced, the gunplay and melee action feels good, and it even has a brief driving moment. My only other complaint is, don't come here for the story, it makes no sense, and you'll see my review in the pinned comments. Shantae Half-Genie Hero Ultimate Edition is an incredible Metroidvania where you are out as Shantae to protect your hometown from various threats. Now along the journey you'll unlock different transformation abilities, and this Ultimate Edition includes all the previously released DLC, including new character storylines and costumes. This game is stunning. Shantae is one of my favourite recent series, and you just can't go wrong at this price. It's 50% off, matching the low price. Wildfrost is a roguelike deck builder with a narrative centered around the sun that has been eclipsed, and you exist in the final refuge against this never-ending winter. Get out there now and battle it out against enemies and boss encounters as you build up a deck ready to take on the world. It has a dynamic counter system as well if you can read upcoming attacks, and there are card companions that can be upgraded. Alongside the core experience, then expect to find daily runs and challenges to keep you busy, and my only complaint, I do think on occasion it can be a little cheap with its tactics against you, but it's still a great option within the genre, and it's a new low price here, 10% off, which I know it's not a lot, but it's the first ever sale of the gamer scene, so I had to give it a shout out. Lunark is a fantastic cinematic adventure game that I reviewed on the channel, find that down below. Now, if you like old school experiences such as Flashback, then you should absolutely come here. Now we control Leo and we are working with an organisation to collect items for research purposes in a futuristic world, and it's packed full of over-the-top weapons and environmental locations. Its story is admittedly predictable, but I still had fun as I explored, battled and avoided enemies. I will warn you, this won't be for everyone. It can be clunky by design, that's always kind of been a staple of the genre, and you just really need to adapt to the more intricate character animations. It's 30% off then a new low price, and I do want to quickly shout out as well, stunning audio work here, the soundtrack is a winner. Thank you to CFK for sponsoring today's video. They've asked me to introduce you to their upcoming release Before the Night. It's set to release on the Switch on September 28th. Now if you do use Steam, you might have actually come across this game already, marked by its very positive rating. But for those of you basically seeking a creepy horror experience, this game may just be for you. The idea, this is a world where the expected is flipped upside down and animals, they are the masters of humans. You'll take on the role of Lisa, a human pet, on a quest to resurrect her rabbit owner Alice from the afterlife. Your mission, gather life-giving flowers while unraveling the mysteries of this animal kingdom. Do beware though, because your desperate attempts to bring Alice back, they might just trigger a series of horrifying incidents. So I've been playing this ahead of release and it's getting under my skin. As of now I'm still in the early stages, juggling my equipment and discovering new items. A realization has struck me, however. I could talk with the animals in this world, kind of a slow advance towards progression, or I could simply eliminate them to expedite Alice's return. So that's actually what I'm going to be trying next. Be warned, however, though, it seems this approach unleashes meat-hungry mutants, forcing you into hiding, so I'm hoping the risk here pays off. You can check out Before the Night over on the eShop, I've linked that down below, so go show CFK some support. Unpacking will be a fantastic option for those who want a relaxed experience. I'm a big fan of this one, and yes, it is short, a few hours of gameplay, but those that are here are a pleasure. The name really says it all. It's a puzzle game where you unpack the belongings of an unseen character at different stages of their life. It's kind of part block-fitting puzzle gameplay, part home decoration. What I liked though was that all of these items tell a story. We learn more about the character and we get to see what items they bring along and those that they leave behind. No pressure with this game either, no timers or scores, just play at your own pace, and it's matching the low price, 40% off. Eastward is back matching the low price with 40% off. This is a pixel art styled action RPG that gives me an almost old school Zelda vibe at times. The world here is stunning, and along the journey it's not just exploration but dungeon crawling and puzzles. You can even control both characters, which adds a nice dynamic to the gameplay. I have very few complaints honestly, it's one of the better genre entries out there and it should be played by fans. The soundtrack is another winner as well, and this is a game I still need to do a review for on the channel because it is long overdue. Sonic Frontiers gets a new low price of 50% off. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a return to form in regards to 3D Sonic games, which has been, let's face it, long overdue. And sure, like the visuals are not the best, and there are some issues with performance, but these are not exclusive to the Switch build, and the unique open world design ended up winning me over. They also did some smart design around combining classic Sonic design with these new elements, thanks to these different gates that transport you to short burst locations. It also has some massive bosses that impressed me. They almost gave me a Shadow of the Colossus vibe, which I did not expect. In the story then, we are on a quest to find the Chaos Emeralds when we become stranded on this mysterious island. You can check out my performance review in the pinned comments. Persona fans then, this is a great week for you all. Every single entry is currently on sale, so we'll be highlighting 4 today and we'll save a couple back for next Saturday's video as well. So first up, Persona 3 Portable and 4 Golden are both incredible entries for the series. Both are fantastic, though my personal favourite is 4, and much like past entries, these are turn-based RPGs that throw us into a world full of evil and dungeons to overcome. While the third game has a top quality story, I think that will be the hardest to get into if you have no experience, as there's no true exploration. Instead, you control a cursor on a map and you select where you want to be. The dungeon is also a single ongoing design, so it's not as visually exciting as the games that would follow. 4 Golden, however, is perfect in my opinion. My review is below, and I'll also put my ranking Persona games video on the Switch there too. Now with these games, they are both 30% off, but you can grab the bundle as well for 35% off, so if you don't have either and you want them both, this will be the cheapest option as it saves you a couple of bucks. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is also on sale. This is a diversion for the series. It's a fighting game that takes characters from 3 and 4 and has them battle it out. I think it's a fun use of the cast personally, and the characters and the world here look absolutely stunning. The only warning with this game is the story is actually an incredibly in-depth visual novel, and without experience at 4, at a minimum, you're going to be completely lost. I'd actually also argue knowledge of the third game would be useful as well, although not absolutely essential. I've linked my review down below, but even if you don't want the story, the fighting mechanics here are solid, and it is well worth the time for genre fans. 50% off then matches the low price. Alex H is our first winner of the week then. He was picking up Moonscars. Congrats on the win, Alex. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, there is a second winner coming up here shortly in the video. Inscryption is another masterpiece. It's 40% off, and this game starts as a deck builder but escalates quickly. This is an experience where the less you know going in, the better it will be, as it will surprise you consistently. If you do want a spoiler-free review though to get a grasp of the mechanics, I've linked my video down below. It is the world that's so interesting here. You awake in a cabin across from a mysterious figure that wants you dead, but first you must play a game with a wildlife themed deck, and these cards, they cannot talk. It's incredibly just crazy stuff. Then though, it gives you the option to stand up as well from the table, and now it's introducing an escape room mechanic to the gameplay. Gonna leave it there, an incredibly dark game, and it's Devolver who just always manage to bring us the most creative. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is here with 50% off and matching the low price. This is one of the most popular RPGs out there, and with good reason. They pack incredibly dark storylines, and while yes, it does have a few performance issues on the Switch, I think it still looks stunning, and the artwork here, there's few worlds that are built like this one. This was actually one of my favourite games of 2021 as well, and it features the incredible press-turn combat system that the series is known for. I also love the stats, the skills, and the story where you pass out and then you awake in a Tokyo that is nothing like what you knew before. It's basically become a wasteland that is inhabited by a whole host of unique characters and demons who want the world to end. Now, which side will you join is really the big question. Can't say I've played too many entries, but I had no issues getting into this one, and I would suggest a fuller review as there's a huge amount of mechanics packed in here. Vibes is our second winner then, who highlighted the massive sales we've been having, and it seems they're not slowing down anytime soon. Now, congrats on the win. Drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is another masterpiece of a game. I've linked my review below. This is one of the few games on the channel I've awarded a 10 out of 10 in the last 6 years of running SwitchCorner, and I do stand by that score. They also just celebrated selling 1 million copies of this game, and that is well deserved. Now it's a sci-fi story that has us traveling to different time periods as we face an incoming war against an unknown race. It's a combination of story elements and strategy here, but the story really is what won me over. These moments, the story elements are 2D with free movement, and we can explore several locations, and then we get to meet a relatively large cast. There is a lot of dialogue packed into this game. The strategy, it's easy honestly, and the design won't be for everyone. It's got this wire-like look to it all, but I still had fun in these moments, and yeah, definitely interesting to see the squad in action. Overall, though, just quality stuff if you're willing to invest the time. I'd say a minimum here. 35 hours of story packed in, and I've played it a few times myself now across different systems, and it never gets old. 70% off then is a new low price, and that is a steal in my opinion. And again, check out my full review in the pinned comments, and I really hope we see some sort of follow-up to this release. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library? Let me know in the comments. A shout out then to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.